Welcome, folks, one and all, to a game released in 1995 for the Nintendo Game Boy. Originally developed by Team 17, with the Game Boy version developed by East Point Software. Both versions were published, the original and this one, by Ocean Software. Yes, folks, let's play Worms for the Nintendo Game Boy. A game that I bought not when it originally came out in 1995, the Game Boy version that is. I think the same can actually be said for the PC version, in the sense that I originally didn't get this game when it came out in 1995, it was a little bit afterwards, and Worms is a game series in general that I really enjoy playing. My favourite of the Worms series is Worms World Party. Many an hour has been lost playing Worms World Party against the AI and against my brother. My brother was a far better player of the game than I was back then. I wonder if that's the same case now. But I discovered a little bit after owning Worms and Worms Reinforcements actually that there was a Game Boy version of Worms. And I thought that this was a match made in heaven. I mean, it's Worms, which I really enjoyed playing. And it was on the Game Boy, which I basically took anywhere that I was going out for a long period. If I were any long trips, or if I was away for a few days from home, I'd bring the Game Boy with me. And so I thought, this is a fantastic pairing. And so I bought the game. And at the time, I was quite hugely disappointed, because in my mind it didn't translate very well at all to the Game Boy. And in fairness, looking at it now from a different perspective, it's kind of unfair of me to have presumed that Worms, which was actually quite a big game on the PC in terms of size and graphically intensive back then in 1995 for what it did, how that would translate onto the Game Boy, which is nowhere near as powerful. But hey, let's actually see what the game is like. I'm sure that the game will be able to convince me that I was wrong when I was younger to judge it so harshly. Let's go into the team entry, shall we? All of the teams that are currently selected are all set to human right now, and we're going to basically clear the team Oh No, which is based on lemmings. One thing that this game does not have going in its favour, by the way, use the up and down keys to select which letters you want, is the fact that, and the arrow key left and right to select different letter slots. One thing that doesn't work in its favour is there is no battery backup for this game. At all. So if you spend a lot of time making lots of teams, they will just basically be completely wiped out as soon as you turn off the actual cartridge and turn off the Game Boy. Which was a big disappointment. I think it was actually that more than anything. It was a huge disappointment when I got it. I spent ages, I think, making loads of teams, and then when I turned it back on, it was all gone. And that's not a thing I wanted to see. I don't think I actually played it that much. I played it a few times, and also we have run out of letter slots here, so we're going to go back here and put some letters here instead. So that was one of the things that really was disappointing, but let's see if generally that can be changed by actually going through and seeing what I can do here. What worms shall we have? There's a few characters I can think of. Let's pick this character. This is the one part of Worms I really enjoy in any of the games, which is making all of the personalising your team and making all these different worms. That was, and still is, a really fun part of it, and I'm actually half tempted after recording this to go and play some Worms World Party. But right now I'm playing the Game Boy version, and I'm very slowly making my team. It's going to be headed up by Raina, because why not? And I think we shall have another worm. I think another worm is most certainly coming to mind here. Let's have... is it this way? Yes, the dot is this way. Let's have Gym Power, shall we? Here we go, let's just get to the letter P here. The other things I'll need to change will be the options, because the default options for this game are actually quite counterintuitively set up, because the interface for playing this game is a little bit clunky. That's mainly because of the lack of buttons on the Game Boy, and so giving 30 seconds as a default to do all of your moves is rather bad. I mean, the computer doesn't have the difficulty of only having 30 seconds. The computer can do whatever it needs to in 30 seconds. The fact that you have to press select to access what weapons you want pretty much means that you need more than 30 seconds, and I'm going to be changing it so that we have an unlimited amount of time. So here we go. We have Rainer, we have Drer. We're going to put Drer in here as the fourth member, and Jim Power and Peepo. Drer on the brain there because I was thinking of putting Drer as the final member. There we go. That's not an R, that's an R. There we go. We're not going to be changing any of the AI teams, with the exception that we're actually going to set them to AI. That was also the first thing that happened when I first played this game, which was the fact that I set it up. I basically tried out playing it just with the teams that were set up, and then it had, it basically went, okay, here you go, and then it was my turn again. We'll have these teams here. I think it's the... Let's see, is it the start button to get back? Yes, it is. We want to set up the options now. We want move time to be unlimited, round time to be unlimited, 2 rounds to win, that's good. Also, it does let you set how many of the default weapons there are, which is really good. I think we'll leave these as they are. Yep, leave that, and we'll leave that as well. I think the main change that we did when we were playing Worms is that we set Dynamite to unlimited. In hindsight, Dynamite was way too powerful that way. So, let's go. Also, were there mines there? I actually didn't see mines. No, mines are in fact, have been completely removed. So, let's have a match, shall we? Let's have a friendly match. Because that's pretty much one team versus another. It's, Team Let's Play versus Team Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds are go for losing artillery. We don't have access to that, but we do have access to all of our weapons. Okay, that's a really bad place for you to be, Rainer. As you can see, there is no music whatsoever in the actual game itself. The game plays in silence apart from sound effects, and the graphics are actually not so bad for the Game Boy, considering that the Game Boy's power... It's pretty good representation of a map. There's none of the background stuff, though, is only a vague effect for water. What we need to do is we need to look at these T1s and T2s here. The worms are pretty well represented, and then it cycles through. I think it goes to... it doesn't actually go to their health. What we need to do is you need to find a place with a lot of enemy worms. We can't find a place with a lot of them. There's one there, there's one there, and there's one there, and there's one there. What we want to do is hit this one. So you press select again to select a target, carefully. There we... Oh, we haven't actually selected a target. I was wrong. You actually need to select the... I believe it's the A button to actually do that. Oh! Nope, that was silly. I accidentally used the bazooka and thus shot... Rainer shot himself, which is not good. The AI are pretty good on normal difficulty. It's a little bit... As I said, the controls are a little bit clunky, but fortunately, we can most certainly fire back. What we need to do first is we need to, there we go, I think it's, if we have an actual homing weapon selected. We didn't actually select the homing missile, which is pretty good. So let's select the homing missile, there we go. And then, I think, we, there we go. Then you use the A button here to select when you're actually going to, fire. It's a little bit actually of a bad system if you're in this screen and then you have a weapon that can just fire and it goes kapow! And then a massive explosion happens. As you could see from the actual homing missile that was fired by the enemy team, the physics aren't exactly spot on either. Also, you can't leave that menu without actually cycling through a weapon. I maybe might be able to hit with actually a grenade, but I'm not going to take the chance here. You hold down for power, and a direct hit. It's pretty good on the modelling of the damage. The more accurate you are, the more likely you are to deal more damage. That's going to be a grenade, or dynamite. And that was a terrible decision there by the AI there to retreat. Normally I'd have jumped at that point, but the AI went, you know the fastest way to get out of this situation? Just basically to drop into the water and die. Also, we really need to move you a little bit over there and assess what we're doing. As you can see, I've pretty much gone into the mindset of playing worms already. Ideally, I want to throw a grenade over there, but I may not be that good at it. My grenade throwing skills were not that fantastic, even on the PC version. So maybe this version, I might not be so good. Let's just throw a cautious grenade like that. Yep, a little bit too much power there. Just a bit. Although I can say I'm most certainly getting into the spirit of worms already. That is a terrible decision. You know what? I'm actually taking it back when I said that the AI was really, really good at this. The AI basically shot itself. Also, we could possibly take advantage of that with the shotgun, because the shotgun, if you hit, deals a lot of damage. There we go. Not as much damage as I remember. I remember the shotgun, if you pretty much got it accurate, would deal 25 damage, but it would seem not in this instance. It is Scott's turn, however. Scott has a cunning plan. It's a homing missile. This is going to hurt. Nope, this is going to hit the scenery. I'm really starting to take back my compliment to say that the AI was good here. The AI's normally much better than this. Or maybe it's my memory playing tricks on me. Either way, let's select another homing missile. And let's see if we can get this worm here. This worm is maybe that one? Yeah, let's get that one, shall we? There we go. Homing missile. And we need to aim this carefully like that. And it should... Excellent! Not a bad shot at all. 48 damage. Let's see what you can do in return, Virgil. Ooh, a cluster bomb. This could go really badly. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was very bad. That's Peebo and Dre out of action. If we're lucky, though... No, we're not that lucky. It didn't kill 3 damage. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could deal 3 damage with just the bazooka. Pretty sure this will do the trick. There we go. Kapow! Was that 3? It was more than 3, but the game doesn't model more than 3 damage if it gets to the minimum. So, brains is out. The first worm to actually have a gravestone because all the others have fallen in the water. I'm pretty sure Scott's the only one left. That was not the best shot you could have done. I think Rayna's okay for the time being, but I really think what we do need to do, because one of the things about the game... By the way, there is the draw round, quit game and surrender buttons, and skip go. The surrender button, there tends not to be much strategy behind it, but sometimes skipping a go is the best thing that you can do in Worms. We want to select a point at which we want to teleport, and I think a good place to teleport would be... Ooh, it's dangerous, but here... Is it there you want to teleport? It's not actually letting us select a location, is it? Is it within a certain range? There we go. That's better. We won't take damage for that. Also, that is not a good place to go, I think, actually. Yep, that was not the best place to go. If we're lucky... No, I was about to say if we're lucky... That was not the most accurate shot. I was about to say if we're lucky, he'd do something terrible and get himself hurt. Now, what we could do... Oh, hang on. There we go. The left mouse button there, the left direction key had accidentally been stuck there. I don't know why I said mouse button, but there we go. The jumping is very, very... Also, you have 4 health. You have 4 health. The jumping is very, very wide in the arc as opposed to... and long, as opposed to the actual other game. There is no prod, unfortunately. We cannot prod the enemy, but we will most certainly just use the Uzi. There we go, that should do it. There we go. That did the trick. And he's off the screen, and out of the match. Goodbye, Virgil. Thunderbirds are not going to be winning just yet. But indeed, there's a cluster bomb, and we're all sort of clumped together, but he's not the best at throwing the cluster bombs. Which is good, because it was a good thing... we moved Rayna out of the way. Here's a weapons drop. Much like in the original games, weapons drops can provide a large amount of different equipment. This one gave us a minigun. Not sure we're going to get into a position where we can use it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be in a position to use that. We could try... We have an airstrike. That's a good idea. But we sort of want to move a little away here, and then use the airstrike. This is, after all, the last worm of that team. There we go! It's a lot of scenery damage there. The damage and, of course, the arcs of throwing weapons and firing them are all different. But then again, this is the Game Boy version, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's most certainly living up to more the worm spirit than I remember it doing when I was younger, which is only a good thing. Hey, Jim Power, how you doing? We don't have anything that can accurately hit at long range, unless we just start using a bazooka. That is indeed now an option. This is a very dangerous place for you to be. But if we fire... Oh, that is the wrong thing. We do not want to have that equipped. I shall use the greatest weapon. What is this weapon? The concede. And then conceding. We could move over here and throw at a very high power, like that. Okay, that was not a bad cluster bomb. One of them hit a little. 9 damage. It's better than no damage. What are you going to do, Scott? You've got one more cluster bomb. Accurate? Not? Oh dear. That was not good. That was 28 damage of not good. Jim Power is out. It's just Raina. Raina versus one foe. Oh, this is not good. We should try a grenade, maybe, or another cluster bomb. We have a few. Let's be careful with this one. There we go. Oh, wait. That did indeed hit a bit. Excellent. We don't get to see, unfortunately, how much, but Scott is out in the open. So much so that Scott is using the bazooka now. And missing. Excellent. His miss is Raina's chance to shine. You have 29 health, Raina. I hope this will work. My plan is to actually hit beneath the platform Scott is on here and knock him into the water in traditional worm style. Here we go. Kapow! Excellent. Thunderbirds have lost. Now they'll never save the monorail. Let's Play wins the round. But will Let's Play win the match? It's Worms. Round 2. And it's a different piece of, different set of scenery. Which is good. I like the fact that they have paid attention to detail. Let's assess what the situation is like. So we have an enemy there. Let's hope that we get to go... There's 2 worms there, actually. Are those both our worms? No, it's one worm there, one worm there. Are there any worms? There's one of our worms all the way back here. Also, if you do knock the worms off the side, that is also a death. It's a good way of actually dealing with the worms. There we go. I think we just want the bazooka here. Full power to the bazooka! Did that actually hurt us? Normally that wouldn't have actually hurt us. Well, actually, it might have hurt us a little. Alright, Virgil, what you gonna do? Teleport? I'll take it. That's a good place to teleport to. Good vantage point. Is it our turn down on the right? It's a weapons drop. The weapons drops actually remove a bit of scenery, as you can see there. Ah, Jim Power. This enemy here has chosen very poorly. Well, this enemy actually didn't get to choose the position. This enemy shall die in the traditional fire punch off the actual scenery. Question is, the water or the scenery or the actual edge? Well, I should have actually equipped the other move. That was most certainly guaranteeing that it would be the water, but just as good. Not bad. A more direct hit would have dealt more damage, mind you. Oh, we got our go first. I'm so terribly sorry, but you are going the way of the other person in your team that just happened to fall off into oblivion. No, let's use the other one. There we go. Kapow! The arc actually was pretty much exactly the same there, whereas in the original, the arcs are very different. Like the Dragon Ball is more of a horizontal. more of a flat line. That was... Were you actually just trying to shoot the worm beneath you in a really ineffective manner? It's really dangerous for Dre to actually do anything here. Unless we could fire a homing missile. It's not going to be a very good one, though. That's kind of the problem. It's not going to be a good homing missile. We'll try here. It's worth a shot if we get a good enough angle and fire it just up like this. Oh, no, that did not work. The jumping kind of made that a little precarious. Now it is Parker's turn. That was a terrible decision, Parker. I'm pretty sure both of those worms are yours. Oh, that was a poor decision. Raynor is armed and ready with the dynamite. Aha! Nothing more satisfying in worms than using the dynamite and running like Jiminy away, because it's a big explosion. Very big. But that is a large amount of damage. In fact, that's Virgil out. And that's Thunderbirds have lost. Already. Let's play wins the match. But can they win again against another opponent? The worm of the match, indeed, is, the best shot was Raynor. The toughest was Jim Power. The most useless was, no. And the most picked on was Scott. Fair enough. One win. But one win is one thing. Can we, however, get two? Because that could very well have been a fluke, folks. Let's find out. Team Let's Play, once again, goes against Team Rainbow. Let's go. The league there would affect the, W is for worm. Indeed it is. How informative. The league, if you played a league match, would have affected the wins and losses there. Also, a weapon drop. Not bad, it's our turn, but we're a little away from that weapon drop. That's one of us. Okay. Let's assess what we've got here. We have two enemies. Nope, we're all on this side, and they're all on that. That is actually a really good position. If I go up here for an airstrike, that is a fantastic position for an airstrike. Should, pretty much, if I fire it here, get them all. Aha! A good start. Unfortunately, they can pretty much do the same. Maybe. Oh, there's a homing missile. Don't hit, don't hit, don't hit. Oh! Okay, I can definitely say I'm getting into the spirit of worms here. This game is actually really fun. And I'm really, sorry to the game for being so harsh on it before. If we throw a grenade in there, that could do the trick. We could certainly throw a grenade in here. There we go. One grenade coming right up. And all I need to hope is that I don't throw it weak enough that it'll just land on us. What's the worst that could happen, eh? That's the worst that could happen. It's just that moment where the worm looks at the grenade that they've just thrown and gone, I did something dumb. And then explosions. Oh, yep. The same thing happened, an airstrike. And that, I believe, is one dead worm. Oh, Jim Power. You are gone. It's Peepo's turn, though, and I'm pretty sure we can do something nasty here. If we can just get up there. There we go. Oh, yes, we can do something very, very nasty here. We have dynamite. We only have one, so let's make it count. Let's make it count by putting it here and running very far. We got the minigun. And an explosion at no extra charge. That's one out. Can we make it two? Yes, we can. Two gone. Zippy's time to get revenge. Not quite what I call revenge there. In fact, I'd call that a terrible idea. Yeah, it's a pretty terrible idea. Because it's Dre's turn. And I know just what to do against you. It's called a homing missile. And we're going to aim it right there. And then we're going to fire it at an angle sufficient that it should come at the correct... There we go. My hope was that it would actually knock the opponent straight into the water. Oh, accidentally killed Peepo. Oh dear. I know one person that's not going to be happy about that. But that's okay. Peepo will return. That was a terrible homing missile. That was a really bad homing missile. I would say that I could show you how the worm in question how it's done, but I'd probably fail as well. I think I'm also out of homing. No, I have one. You know what? Let's do it. Let's also fail at homing missiles. Now I want to just basically aim this pretty much up, at an angle actually, and a pretty high power. See? I'm terrible at homing missiles too. We're both terrible at them. Ha ha! Maybe that's a replacement homing missile. I'm probably never going to find out. I do want to use that, Oh dear. Well, that bounced backwards. Nope, that did not do what you wanted it to. It did hit someone, though. I believe... it's Drur's turn. Now, can Drur actually get over to that enemy? I think the answer to that question is a resounding no. But it is a pretty big hole. We do have a minigun. We could use that. But at the moment, I think we'll just throw a cluster bomb. And hopefully, we won't absolutely fail. Carefully does it. And a lot of power. Oh. That was the one thing I didn't want to blow up. But with absolute accuracy, that's exactly what I blew up. Oops. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's very bad. That's very bad. Reina is in no position to really deal the killing blow. Alright, let's see. What do we have? Teleports, airstrikes, we have none. Cluster bombs. We'll just throw a cluster bomb. Maximum power. Throw it, Reina! Not into the sea! Okay, into the sea. I'm starting to regret making you the team captain here. See, look, this is how you throw a cluster bomb. That was a good cluster bomb. Oh my word, team is getting absolutely destroyed. I think that might be both of them gone. Yep, Drur is out. Reina? No, Reina is still here. Yeah, Reina, we're gonna teleport you away to anywhere else. Like, I don't know. Could teleport you... Actually, it's pretty difficult to put you somewhere. You're the only worm I have. Oh dear. Can't actually teleport you somewhere safe. You know what? Let's just throw another cluster bomb. And this time, let's not mess it up. High power? Does it get there? Aha! Excellent! You have redeemed your terrible previous actions. By defeating the rainbow. It is no more. However, we have won the round, but not the match. Worms, worms, worms. There are many more worms than 3, but 3 worms were there, and the only thing that could fit on that screen. Okay, all of our team is here. The plan first is to move away from there. Is there anywhere else we can move to? There is 1 worm there. There is 1 worm there, 1 worm there. Well, that's a pretty good place for a grenade. Cluster bomb? Maybe. Can I actually reliably get the cluster bomb by that worm? Let's try. Hey! I think I'm getting the hang of this grenade throwing. That was right on the worm's head. Oops. Oh dear. But hey, a lot of damage on that worm! Aha! Oh dear. This is bad. Saving graces, they're not good at throwing grenades either. Okay, maybe a normal grenade this time, Jim. I've got a feeling that the cluster bombs sometimes aren't so good. There we go. Much better. Excellent. So it's 1 for 1. Almost 1 for 2. Okay, Bungle. Don't bungle this up! Oh, you didn't. I was kind of hoping you would. But you didn't. Alright, Peepo, it is time to get robotic vengeance. And we shall start by eliminating this worm here. Actually, do you need to do that? Let's throw a grenade. We'll save the, I think we'll save the, actual homing missiles until later. Will this be enough? Barely not enough. Barely not enough. So close. And that gives this opponent a chance to absolutely obliterate Peepo. Darn. Ah, not quite though. Okay, I think it's time to use some of these various things that we have. An airstrike, actually. No, an airstrike is most certainly overkill. A homing missile, on the other hand, that is not overkill. That will be just fine. Right. Straight up. And a pretty high power. This is how I used to fire them all the time when I was playing against my brother, just straight up. Sometimes you get some complicated homing missile strikes that would turn round corners and various things. My brother was able to actually use the wind effects to actually provide that curvature on the actual bazooka shots. He was really good at this. Also, there are no ninja ropes, there are no bungee cords, so that's something else I should have really mentioned. I think actually, do I jump here? Yes, I do. Probably a good idea. There we go. Just have a look around. No enemy there. Should actually just start shooting through this to get access to that opponent. Because I think they've run out of things that can actually just... Oh, that is the jump button and not the shoot button. Also, very well modelled shotgun, but then again, I don't think the actual number of sprites for the shotgun in the actual game were that much either. Oh. Now, the shotgun in the other game used to actually deal damage to the scenery. This one does nothing. That's a learning lesson there. Oh dear. That's a cluster bomb. Please don't be accurate. I do not like it when you're accurate. Oh! I think that might be 2 worms down. 1 worm down, certainly. Drur is gone. Oh, Peepo clings on, though. Alright, we can get our revenge. I tried before. It didn't really work. Alright, let's get this one right here. Alright, you know how to get it. Just shot straight up. There we go. Excellent. A direct hit. Almost 48 damage. Ooh. That's good. Now, kindly don't blow it up. Oh, are you going to steal it? Oh, yes you are. Ooh, that's a sheep. I'm almost half tempted to let you use it. Keyword almost. Because there's a part of me that really doesn't want you to use it. Also, there's really a part of me that isn't actually able to do anything against it. Do we still have the minigun? No, the minigun was taken away from us. We have a dynamite. This is a really poor time for a dynamite, though. Maybe it's time for the shotgun. Yeah, I think it's just time for the shotgun. Ooh, the shotgun actually hit us at that range. But more like knocked us around than actually hit. Careful. Oh, oh! And that was what I was worried about. Oh dear. That's pretty terrible. Okay, it's 1v2. This is bad. This is cutting it to the wire. Oh no. Let's Play has lost. We may have lost, but I refuse to take defeat so easily. Best of 2, after all. Best of 2. Right, let's go. A weapons drop right from the go. Let's hope that has victory in it, or at the very least something I can use to attain it. There's a worm there. Oh, there's a worm right there. It's not an easy place to knock a worm off, though. Oh, is there a... That's one of our worms. Well, that's good. That's brilliant. Is that one of our worms? Yes? No! Right, I think I've found a target, and that is this worm here. You see, the more worms you actually knock out, the harder it gets for you to actually deal with the worm, in a sense, the last one, because dealing with that last worm involves, well, they get a lot of turns. They get plenty of turns. I know I could technically not use a homing missile. Much better to guarantee that we take Zippy out right at the beginning. Another weapon drop. That's a really difficult... That is an all but impossible weapon drop. Hey, do you want to get this weapon drop? Where is it? Right in the water. That would involve a significant amount of death. Also, that cactus most certainly did something to anger that worm. Right, we need to even the playing field here, and I think I know how to do it. It involves another homing missile, and it's there. I know I'm using these homing missiles really quickly and liberally, but hey, we've got them, let's use them. Now, if I were to aim just up here, hopefully... That kind of backfired, considering that was my worm that it hit. Oh yeah, that backfired. Oh, that backfired a lot. That is a terrible idea. No, it's not actually. You also got a minigun. Didn't know you could actually survive that drop. Well, that's one worm gone. This team is proving to be tricky. Get him, Peepo. Oh man, you've got to be very... In fact, actually, I'm not even going to risk you falling off the edge. Teleport there. There? Here? There we go. Let us teleport there. What do we get? A sheep. Marvellous. We get to see how deadly they are. Probably exceptionally. Alright, there's no easy enemy for you to take out here. There is a good airstrike target there, though. On one person. That's fair enough. Okay, we have an airstrike ourselves, though. Let's see how well the enemy like airstrikes. Pretty bad place for them, though. This one might be a good place, though. Nope, didn't do what I wanted it to, because it didn't go in the direction I wanted it to. Not sure if you can control that in the Game Boy version. That's one more homing missile. Please miss. Who am I kidding? It's a homing missile. Homing missiles rarely miss. And that's the end of Gym Power. Oh my, we're in trouble. Okay, Peepo, it's your turn. Oh dear. Let's see if we can do something here. We have no homing missiles. We do need to teleport over there. Mainly we need to teleport over here. But where here? Here might actually not be a bad place to teleport. It's in the middle. We might get the chance to use the sheep. We're not going to get a chance to use the sheep, are we? There are 3 enemy worms there. Oh, no, maybe we will. It's Bungle's turn. Ooh, a teleport. Where to? Oh, that's good. That's pretty good. All we need to be able to do is take advantage of that, and I think I know how we can take advantage of that. It's called a cluster bomb. I was tempted to use the bazooka, but let's be honest, I probably wouldn't actually land the bazooka shot in there. No guarantee I'll land the cluster bomb in there. Oh, no guarantee I'll land the cluster bomb in there. That's terrible. It destroyed scenery. That was exactly what I was aiming for. And it summoned a weapon drop that I'm probably never going to use. Okay, don't land an awesomely accurate... Why are you teleport... Oh, you're teleporting... Well, that recycled itself perfectly. I used this teleport to get here. What's here? A teleport. Also, I'm amazed that's still floating. Also, this gives us the opportunity to use the sheep. Aha! Here we go! I don't know what's going to happen when I use this. I think I have to use it and then use it again. Oh, careful. There we go. It's probably pretty powerful. Oh yeah, pretty powerful. Yep, Bungle is out. Excellent. I think that turned the tables somewhat. Please don't fire it. Oh, you firing a cluster bomb. Inaccurately! Excellent. Your inability to hit me will provide me the perfect opportunity to absolutely obliterate... Ooh, this is a good opportunity for dynamite. If there were ever a target that could be hit with dynamite, this was it. Also, we are pretty far away. Excellent. The tide of battle has turned. We are worming our way to success. Oh dear. It's a perfect pun. Okay, you are really bad at throwing there. I could say after the sheep you're really bad at throwing them. Oh dear. Okay, we're just going to throw a cluster... Actually, why even throw a cluster bomb? Just throw a grenade. Don't put it to chance. Throw a grenade. Excellent. Balance it on their head. It's quite a feat bouncing a grenade on your head. Rainbow has lost. Let's Play have pulled it out of the bag and won! Somehow. Indeed, Dre was the best shot. Bungle was the toughest. And the most useless, I think, was... Is that George, I think? And the most picked on was Dre. But hey, we won. And that's all that matters. In Worms, there is only winning and losing. There rarely is a draw. Sometimes it happens. And I have to say, on reflection, as you could see there, I was certainly enjoying playing this game. And I have to apologise to Worms for the Game Boy. For what it is, for what the Game Boy could do, and for what they managed to get into this cartridge, this is quite a feat. Getting Worms onto the Game Boy, and the normal Game Boy at that, not the Game Boy card. This is a normal Game Boy cartridge. Very impressed. I couldn't appreciate back then the basically what they managed to cram into a single cartridge. And as I can see, it's not exactly Worms. Well, it was never going to be exactly Worms, but it's certainly very enjoyable. And so, I most certainly probably will most certainly take this with me if ever I'm taking a Game Boy with me somewhere again, and I do sometimes take a Game Boy with me to places I go. That said, it is just making me want to play Worms World Party, and just basically throw holy hand grenades everywhere. Oh, World's Worm Party. World's Worm Party, that's a very different game. Also, it's not a game that exists, probably. Worms World Party, there we go. So, this is Worms for the Game Boy, a game that I judged rather unfairly back in the day, and now looking back at it, it's flawed, certainly, but it's perfectly enjoyable, and quite a feat to fit on the actual Game Boy cartridge itself. And for what it is, it's pretty good at doing what it does. A battery backup would have made this game a lot better, though. Being able to save the teams without having to reset every single time and then basically remake all of them, and actually having like a league on your Game Boy that's saved, that would have been really good. But unfortunately, there was no battery pack, or if there was, mine didn't work. I'm pretty sure there isn't, though. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. For when we come back, something else completely different. Something else, perhaps not too far away from Worms, but for the Game Boy, but not necessarily in ways you'd think. After all, the Game Boy is a system that I've had a lot of experience with playing games on, but haven't actually played many games from on this channel. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be a Game Boy game, maybe it'll be something completely different. Who knows what game will capture the imagination and will basically go, hey, play me! Games do not actually, when I'm selecting them, say that. I'd be a little worried if the games just started actually jumping up onto the table and saying, please play me! It would most certainly be something that doesn't typically happen. So, that was Worms for the Game Boy, and Team 17, keep making awesome Worms games. I haven't played any from recent ones, but if they're anything like Worms World Party, I don't know if some of them are like... I think they're actually going back to the, they made like a lot of different ones. They made one in 3D. I did play Worms 3D. Didn't really like Worms 3D. But I think I heard that the most recent one they're working on is basically a return to the Worms World Party, Worms Armageddon style. And if that's the case, that's a good thing and I look forward to it. But I'm Kikoskia, and that was Let's Play Worms for the Game Boy. And when we come back, something completely different. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. Or maybe just one more match. That's what Worms does. You play a load of it and then you're thinking, oh, just one more. Just one more. Later.